Hello and welcome back to Egypt Abroad. I'm Alan. We're going to jump into it in a few minutes. I'm recording the intro from the gaff. It's a minging day. It's a scaldy day in Auckland and the air fryer is ticking. So that's all unprofessional. But what can you do? This week we had a great chat about turning your dog a Nazi. And we recorded this after the Ireland beat the All Blacks in the series, the test, the competition of the rugby world, whatever it's called. Ireland won, and we talk about that. And also Young Love and Ramsey was there, also our dog, my dog, and he keeps interrupting and jumping up. So you will hear random screams of his name. So that's who Ramsey is. He's not a Nazi dog. We decided not to change his belief system. Enjoy.
I love the artwork as well, by the way.
Oh yeah, I made that by fluke.
Did you?
That's how we got through college.
Yeah.
When we did
by fluke.
Yeah, by fluke. Absolute fucking fluke. You know what I mean? Like you do something and
Here, chill out.
go up there, you fucking. You'd come up with some art.
Yeah.
And they go, great, now show us your workings. I'm like, what? And then you have to.
This isn't maths.
But you have to show how you got there. I'm like, I just made it.
Yeah.
I just made it. It happened. Like I think I'm a genius.
Yeah. Oh,
And then they're like,
set phrases, no place no more.
yeah, but you're not allowed in Ireland.
Yeah.
But I just made it. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
And then they're like, no, you have to show me how you got here. So then I had to fake all the prep work. So here's all my examples of what I tried to do.
Yeah.
Didn't have a clue, man.
Not
Didn't have a fucking clue.
notion in the ocean.
And they're like, yeah, and then I'd fail. I'd nearly fail because I didn't show them how I got there. I'm like, but I got there.
But it's like, it doesn't matter. Like, it's like I didn't bring it in with me. Do you know what I mean?
Yeah.
I didn't like nick it off fucking DiCaprio or what's his name? Da Vinci's grave.
Da Vinci, yeah.
DiCaprio.
DiCaprio.
Leonardo
Hey, sit down.
DiCaprio, the fucking, the famous artist.
The famous artist Leonardo DiCaprio. Oh,
Yeah.
I love his earlier stuff.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Seen him in Titanic.
He got murdered in Titanic.
He did. And then
But
he built a
selfish.
helicopter 500 years ago.
He built a helicopter.
He's all over the place, man.
Oh man, he's
time
lived a long time, hasn't he?
He has, yeah.
Oh, he's got
God bless him.
I like him.
I do actually like him, do you know? For a kiddie fiddling fucking freak, do you know? He's a nice lad.
Is he a kiddie fiddler? Oh no,
Well,
he's not Ricky
a
Martin.
kiddie. No, he gets his little 21-year-olds and 22-year-olds, you know? But that's alright too, do you know?
Have you seen the Ricky Martin stuff?
Ricky Martin?
Yeah, he's been
The man himself.
He's been nuzzling away at his nephew.
What? Sorry.
I don't think that's the phrase.
Wait.
He's been nuzzling away at his nephew and they're bringing him to court. Ricky Martin, look her up. Where's your phone? Look her up.
Darren and Philippa are off to Fiji.
Yeah.
And next week or the week after, and they won't leave Rolex with me.
Why not?
Because the last time me and Mullins were in charge of a dog, we changed its name and we made it a Nazi. It's one of Mullins' mate's dogs, and his name is Cooper. Yeah, so I was telling Darren this story, so I won't leave his dog with me. Do you know? I'm like, mate, you're my brother. This is my niece. You know, you got to leave her with me when you're in Fiji. Do you know? He's like, no, we'll leave her in the car. I'm like, no. I was like, what? The last time you were in charge of a dog, you changed its name and made it a Nazi. I was like, I shouldn't have told you that story.
How did you make the dog a Nazi?
Well, all we did, so it was him mostly. We were like, we looked it up on Google. We were like, can you change a dog's name in 3 days?
Yeah.
And we didn't change its name. It still answers to Cooper, but every time it answered to Pedro, we'd give him a treat.
Oh, yeah.
And then, so we were just like, Pedro, give him a treat. So every time he hears Pedro, he looks up, do you know?
Yeah.
And then he already knew paw, so he'd have his paw up.
Oh, yeah.
But we changed that to Zihal.
Oh.
So whenever he said Zihal, he'd put his paw up and then we'd give him a treat. And yeah, so now they've got a Nazi dog called Pedro. And so now my brother won't let me mind his dog.
Oh, that's not fair.
Nope.
But you wouldn't do the same again, would you?
Not
would
to
you,
my niece, man.
Would you
That's
do
my
it to
niece.
it like a different, like General Franco? General Franco, then get a German name. Call it Adolf just to switch a room.
To be fair, like Rolex is a good name for a dog. And do you know why he calls it Rolex? It's a watchdog.
Oh, there you go. Does he spell it the right way or the wrong way? Like a fake Rolex?
I don't know. Or normal, I'd say. You know, I haven't seen its birth. So,
How was your weekend? What, so like fell in love?
Remember
the first time you fell in love?
Yeah, actually.
What'd you do?
I had about 50 wanks.
About 51, you fell in love with yourself?
I tried my best. Yeah.
Oh, there was a girl I was mad about in school. Her name and she was the only one to have boobs because she was kept back about 5 years, and for whatever reasons, I don't think I don't think she was too clever.
It mustn't have been.
It had to be. Oh, we were all fucking idiots, and
with a face like that, you don't need to be clever, I suppose.
But she was fucking gorgeous. I was mad about her. I was telling the lads, I was like, I'm gonna ask her to go on a date.
Shift me.
Yeah, shift.
Just shift me.
Yeah, meet me at the wall.
Yeah.
We didn't say shift. So whenever someone's like, someone came up, someone's cousin came up to Dublin, and they're like, "Here, will you shift her?" I'm like, to where?
The size.
I picked her up. Then lift with your knees.
What did you say?
Meet? Will you meet her?
Meet? Oh yeah, meet.
It's not even better.
I know.
Stupid.
Meet.
Will you meet her?
Yeah. Oh, it's meeting her, but
yeah. But yeah. And anyway, I went up to ask her out, and she was on a bike, and I was all nervous and stuff. And then I kicked her in the shin and pushed her off the bike. And I didn't know what to do. You didn't know what to do, lads. But lads are idiots, and they pull a girl's hair. Yeah. But I was mad about her, so I kicked her in the shin.
Good.
I couldn't walk that way to school anymore because our brother was trying to kill me.
A couple of years
above
me.
Yeah, he was a few years above me. And he was like, I catch that little fucker.
Yeah.
I was like, but I love her.
Yeah, I love her.
I don't know how to
She's
show
the love
emotion.
of my life. And since then, you've had a kid and about 200 girlfriends.
Yeah. How was the game? Where did you were working for the game?
Yeah, I was working, and I was very, 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 very shouldn't have been working because I was intoxicated. No, but we're short-staffed at the moment, man, and it was two of us behind the bar, right?
Yeah.
So we've no chef.
Yeah.
So our general manager, Caelan, he's in the back. He's slamming out fucking...
He's making the food.
Yeah, he's slamming out chips, garlic bread. We're not doing fucking meals or anything, you know?
Yeah.
People going, oh, can I get a fucking 16-inch pepperoni and a carton of wedges? I'm like, do you know what you can do? I said, you can get a fucking plate of chips and a pint of Guinness. And
sit down. You're not sitting down watching the game, having a steak and a fucking lamb shank.
Man.
Yeah.
So I barely got to see it. I seen the try to start, but I was serving like 4 people at once at the time. Shit. So we had to get a fella in, and he used to work there 5 years ago. He's a fucking gem, Jacob, beautiful man. And so he was there. Me and him were just slamming out drinks, fucking left, right, and centre, you know. And yeah, Caelan was in the kitchen till 9 or 10 o'clock, and then he was just slamming out. He was like, I'm sorry I can't be out there with you, you know?
Yeah.
And then we're there's like fucking 5 people in the queue, and then we're just like serving 3 people at once. Everyone's going mental, like, you know? And then it gets to the last 10 minutes.
Yeah.
Actually, before that, when they brought it back to 25-22, right?
Yeah.
So, you know, we were doing pretty well.
Yeah.
It was the most they've ever been losing at half time.
Yeah.
Ever.
Yeah.
You know, it's easy. We beat the All Blacks every week, man.
It's just normal now.
You know?
It just is what it is.
It is. It's simple, man.
Yeah.
It's simple. All you have to do is just not be England or something.
Not shit the bed.
Yeah.
Like, there's that mental block.
Yeah.
You know?
But we got rid of that in Chicago.
Exactly. Yeah, once that mental block was gone.
And then we've beaten them, was it twice in the Aviva, and now we've beaten them twice in Auckland, or not in Auckland, sorry, in New Zealand.
In New Zealand.
Yeah. But yeah, so literally when they brought it back, so I'd say it was about a 70-30 ratio to New Zealand to Irish people. So obviously when the Irish were there, we were shouting and screaming and we were loud as them. And then when they brought back 25-22, there was this big fucking up. And then when it calmed down, I turned around to the fella in front of me with an All Blacks jersey, and I was like, I've never seen people so happy to be losing a game. And he looked at me and was, can you get a point there, please?
Just gives a point.
Yeah. And then at the end, the celebrations at the end, man, you know.
Oh, say so.
Oh, it was a thing of beauty. But yeah, those last 10 minutes.
Yeah.
So I didn't get to see any of the game because we were slamming out drinks constantly. But those last 10 minutes, it was literally like all the Kiwis were sat there depressed and didn't move, and all the Irish people were sat there nervous as fuck and didn't move. So there wasn't a word. It was the quietest I've ever heard. It was pub with 200 people, man. It's the quietest I've ever heard it. Do you know? Because like we're there, like we're gonna fuck this up. We're gonna fuck this up.
Yeah. We always do.
Yeah. And then they're there, and they're like, we fucked this up. We fucked this up. So yeah, but then as soon as like we knew it was coming, so obviously 79th minute when they still need 2 scores, you know it's there. But you wait,
then
you wait
can
until
breathe again. Yeah.
You wait until the final whistle.
Yeah.
And as soon as the final whistle goes, and it's just
Yeah.
And then the fella came around the bar, one of Caelan's buddies, and the three of us there, there's like people waiting to be served and shit.
Yeah.
We're just there like dancing behind the bar, like, fuck you. Flipping off the customers, yeah.
Oh, man.
This is a great advertisement for the place, but...
It was so much seeing videos of other bars, people just going nuts.
Yeah.
Like it was, because after we did the podcast last week, I had to go on, I went on 2 radio stations.
I heard. Was that over the podcast? And they were talking
No. I don't know what was going on. Maybe it was.
It hit the rock.
So I went on the rock, and that was great, and that was a laugh, and I had a laugh.
You, little Mr. Famous in the corner.
You know, shut the fuck up, man. And I was on that, and I'm having a laugh with them, and we're talking about, like straight away they asked me, do you like, you must love Ireland's Call. And I was like, no. Did we talk about this last time?
No, we spoke about it personally.
So here's my, and I said this, I goes, I don't like it because our national anthem is beautiful.
Yeah.
And we had to sing it every day in school.
Yeah.
Every day in some sort
and
of
it was
assembly.
the closing song for pubs as well.
It's closing song for pubs and 21st and stuff like that.
Yeah.
And you're just going, share the vein of all. And I said, they don't let us really play that outside of Ireland because it's an all-Ireland team and you have the Northern Irish lads.
That's what the football, you have it in the football.
You have it in the football, but loosely translated when you get down to the deeper verses is like, kill the English, rip the head off the Queen, burn down the palace.
Yeah. Kill the landlords.
Yeah. All of that stuff.
Bring the spuds back.
Bring the spuds back. Stop stealing our spuds, you fucks. What famine? Them hungry bastards ate it all. And then all of that stuff, right? The dog is going nuts. And then all of that, and then so we have this Ireland's Call, which is written by Phil
Lynott.
Not Phil. he's a Eurovision songwriter. He wrote Celebrations by Cliff Richard. No, the Cliff Richard one.
Completely
Celebration.
Oh, for fuck's
Jubilee. So we have that.
So
man.
it's
he
a
wrote,
fantastic artist.
Yeah, and he wrote Pupper on a string. Not Pupper on a spring. That's something different.
Oh, yeah. That's like my Saturday night.
That was you.
That was me on Saturday behind the bar. I was a fucking Pupper on a string.
Wow!
Ding 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 ding.
Ramsey, get up. Well, he wrote all these songs, and he wrote songs for Boyzone. He produced songs for Boyzone.
Okay.
He's a pop songwriter.
Right.
So our Ireland's Call is pretty much a pop song, and that's why it has a key change in the middle
and a chorus.
do you know what I mean?
Yeah,
and it's you could imagine Westlife singing it, and then it gets to the bit, and they stand up off the chair and they walk a step forward. That's why I don't like it.
No,
that's why I don't. It's not our anthem.
No, it's not. But first of all, it's in English, so it's not our anthem.
Yeah.
But to be fair, and do you know what? I do like what the IRFU have done with the.
I didn't know where you were going with that sentence. I do like what
the IRA. The IRA. Yeah. Up Bobby Sands. But no, what the IRFU done with the whole island. Do you know what I mean? As opposed to having a Northern Ireland team, and I think it'd be great if football introduced that as well.
Yeah, absolutely.
Do you know? Like, imagine Johnny Evans. No, he wouldn't get in a team, he wouldn't get in a team.
You're picking the wrong names.
Yeah, but he's the only one there, really. The rest of them are shite.
Yeah,
do you know what I mean?
But
in general, I think it's a good idea, do you know? Because it does breed a bit of unity between the communities, do you know?
Yeah.
Like Rory Best, for example, do you know what I mean? He was a Northerner fucking... I'm sure he's a proddy. I'm not sure, but I'm sure he is. Do you know that kind of... And he was our captain. Do you know?
Yeah.
And like he sang out Ireland's Call with all his heart.
Yeah.
Do you know? And so it's good in that kind of way, but
it's a good karaoke song.
Yeah. After Ireland just smashed the All Blacks twice in a row. We do it every week.
Oh
mate.
Man, I talked about this before. We booked then I went on another radio show, and I was really serious. And he's like, "Yeah, so are you happy with the win?" I'm like, "Yeah, of course I am." And it was all the questions were so fucking boring. I didn't know where to go with it. It was the most boring interview I've ever done.
So it was like real official, was it?
Real official, yeah, real official. I'm like, I'm not speaking on behalf of the whole country here. You're asking me.
Yeah.
Is rugby a big game in Ireland? He goes, yeah, it is, but not for me.
But it's like the fourth biggest, man.
Yeah,
you know? It's behind football, GA and hurling.
Yeah, and I said if Ireland were in the Tiddlywinks World Cup, I'd be fucking green jersey, spinning little fucking coins.
Yeah.
I love it. But then we had a weekend booked away. Me and the missus booked away to Raglan.
The Burosaurus Rex.
The Burosaurus Rex. That's going to stick like an STD.
Stick it up our hoop.
We're booked into this cabin, right? In the middle of nowhere.
We're both in the middle of nowhere.
20 minutes away from Raglan, right?
Oh, Jesus. Was this the weekend?
This the weekend. Yeah. So when the big game was on, right? So we're like, we'll find a pub and watch the game, right? The game is going to be important. So we drive there, and the Google Maps address that they sent was completely wrong. So we eventually arrived there in the dark, and it was a field, a farm field, with a cow shed over there. You have to drive through a puddle of muck, right? Yeah. Which a car won't go through. You need a Jeep or a tractor. And there's cows everywhere. And we're like, this can't be it. And James was like, this is it. This is the address. This is where we have to be. And she
like
gets
West
out.
Cork or something.
Oh, it was in the middle of nowhere. It was in the middle of nowhere. And she gets out and opens the gate, right? And pushes up. And I'm waiting for a farmer to come down and shoot us, right? And then I'm thinking, maybe this is the place, because like hipsters would pay to stay in a cow shed. You know what I mean? People would pay that much money to stay somewhere absolutely diabolical. Yeah. So we're sitting there. She goes in, opens the gate, and is about to drive in. We just had a weird fucking feeling about it.
Right.
We said, no, this doesn't seem right? So we called up the woman. We went to the town, got a pint, right? And we went into the pub, and the pub was full of all these fucking
Bogans, man.
Yeah, all these. They seemed a bit, and I was like, I can't watch the game with these people,
not
right?
at all.
So that put me off that pub.
Yeah.
And then we found the address, the correct address.
Nice.
And then we went, and we're all over the place. There's all these different gardens, and eventually we found that little cabin.
Was it nice?
It was gorgeous, but it was pitch black, and it's solar powered, right?
And to be fair, the only picture I see him was the one with the bottle of Jameson. I was like, that looks lovely.
The bottle of Jamie, I'll tell you, the celebrations, that didn't last either, right?
No,
we got absolutely trolleyed. Yeah. We go in, right? We open the door. We can't get a light on because it's solar powered, right? You have to find a generator. We found a generator, cranked it up, right? Cranked up the generator, and then we got the light on, and then I got attacked by a fucking blackbird in the middle of the gap, coming at me. I'm screaming. It's bouncing off the fucking ceilings and stuff, right? And he's going nuts. And Jane is the man in the relationship, and she walks over and puts a towel over it and picks it up. It's gentle, and I'm like, "Get the fly spray!" Like I panicked, like a lizard came into a
snap its neck.
Snap its neck. Let's kill the bastard.
Yeah, kill its family.
Fucking let's get his family tree. Yeah. And I fucking and I know it's just I'm a comedian. I can't help it. And it's so I years ago a little lizard came into a place I was staying. And I panicked and I sprayed it. This is horrible, but I sprayed it until it was dead.
With Lynx?
No, that would have set it on fire. But I sprayed it with fly spray. You know what I mean?
In Dublin?
No, in some holiday somewhere. And I sprayed it. So there's me like, I need a fly spray. A fly spray. Like, that's a big fucking fly. There's a blackbird flying toward us. We eventually got it out and we're like, how do we get it? We couldn't start the fire, right? Like, what's his name? Billy Joel. Right? We couldn't start it because the people that own the gaff.
You can't start the fire.
Couldn't fucking start. There's no fire lighters, right? And what they did, because they're hippies that own the place, your woman's name is Dimple.
Oh,
right?
Fuck
Dimple,
off.
that's the name, right? So we call it Dimple, we can't find the place. I'll just go up there and take a left and follow the smell of jasmine, right? Yeah. So we go up and it's all this eco stuff and it's eco, and you're not allowed to use the toaster during dark, right? It says nighttime, don't use the toaster between these hours, and the microwave, like some sort of like vampire, you know,
vampire
gremlins toaster. But it's because it's solar powered.
Yeah.
And I can't handle it.
Oh, fuck off.
The power can't handle the toaster being used at night time. Everything will shut down. So no toaster.
But you had the TV in it.
We had the TV, but it was no pipe. It was not plugged into anything.
Yeah.
We had the hotspot on a hotspot, right? Because she's on Spark. To get it plugged into to get it attached to this computer.
To HDMI.
Into the telly. And it was, and I was on some. The first stream was some. I don't know, some Eastern European channel.
I remember you texted me like fucking quarter to 7. And you were like, do you have a good stream? And I literally texted you back, 12 at night?
Yeah.
I literally just have a second right now.
I couldn't watch it. I couldn't watch it on that channel. Found another one, right? And then couldn't start the fire because no fire lighters. And then I found a little bottle of Adidas. aftershave underneath the sink.
lovely.
Someone must have left, and I
Yeah.
went, I'd have an idea.
That'll get it going.
Doused everything in Adidas aftershave, right? I got J-cloths, wrapped it around the fucking wood, covered it in Adidas aftershave, put that in, cranked it all in, everything, lit it. Right? Fucking amazing. It was the hottest fire on record, I'd say.
Yeah.
It was so hot I burnt the bin 2 days later.
Yeah.
I put the ashes in the bin and the bin melted, right? And they said, they gave us a good review.
It was made of diamonds.
It was made of
It was a diamond bin.
It was a diamond bin, and this was the hottest fire in the world, right?
This is a true story.
Oh man, I tell you, like I'm known by the firemen, the fire people. They don't like me because my fires are the hottest fires.
I like the way you say fire people there.
The fire people had to change it because it's 2022, you know.
Just about.
Just about.
But you know, 2020 was 2022.
It was 2022, and now it's 2022.
Yeah, 2022 is 2022. Do you know what I mean? As well.
Yeah, also. It's 2020 also too. And then but the fire is so the fire was so fucking hot. And then we watched the game, and I'm sitting down, but then before I knew it, I'm right up against the TV. I'm like, and it's sculling like a box of wine. Which is great to burn, by the way, as well. Burn everything, right?
Yeah.
And then
once
the
the
bottle of
wine's been
whiskey.
emptied.
You gotta drink it first. You
Stand
gotta
out
drink
in
the
there,
wine.
and you got a box of wine.
You gotta drink it, and then you burn the
You know
fucking
what I
box.
mean?
And then the fire's even hotter. And then the fireman had texted me going, listen, I know you build the hottest fires. We need to work with you in the future.
Would
you
you
can
mind?
tell us how to handle these fires.
Yeah.
I said, no worry, Mr. Fire People.
That's a good
Mrs.
Mr. and Mrs.
I didn't get the pronouns.
Mr. and Mrs.
You
Fireman.
people. You people.
Use.
And then we watched the game because during the day we were out in another bar. We said, right, we'll have a suss out of this bar.
Right.
And there was four old lads sitting there watching the screen. Families everywhere. 2:00 in the afternoon.
Yeah.
And that's where these lads were like, I can't do the accent, but they're heckling each other.
Right.
Whatever the word, jazzing off, whatever. What's the word? Fucking, I don't know. And they were slagging each other off.
Yeah.
Again, you fucking harden up. You better stay awake for this game. You can't be a pussy and go drinking the soft drinks. You got to stay on the beer. And they're giving each other shit.
Yeah.
2:00 in the afternoon.
Love it.
And they were sat there right in front of the TV, and I thought, I can't be near these people either, right?
Because we're probably going to lose.
Yeah, because I thought we might lose.
Yeah.
And I wouldn't be able for it. I don't have a rugby jersey. I mean 1988 Ireland.
I had the Italian 90 jersey.
Italian 90 jersey. I'm fucking the Stuttgart 88 jersey. Right?
Fair
And it's there, right? So I have it, and I'm like, we'll watch it on the double hotspot and stuff.
Yeah.
Because I couldn't be around that. And also, I don't know if I told you. Like I told you the story of when someone came up and tried to call me a leprechaun, call me an Irish midget.
Is that your man who drew the painting?
No,
of
this
you
was the other
hanging?
one, right?
Or a leprechaun hanging.
I did the quiz on Wednesday, and there was this guy, and he was all fucking tense up like a fist, right? He was clenched the whole way. He never sat down throughout the whole quiz, and he's walking up and he's fucking dropping shapes, and you can hear him mutter, like he's one of these people that's like, oh, fucking Sam Kane, Ian Foster, the imposter, the refs are mean, refs are mean to us.
Ian Foster, the imposter.
Yeah.
Do you know what I mean?
All of that, right? And he's fucking furious 5 days after the game. 5 days after the game, right? Still furious, right? The noise of my voice is wrecking his head even more. Irish accent, right?
Yeah.
I can well imagine.
Yeah.
So he's coming up slamming down the answers. He's like, 8 points. I was like, 4 points.
Yeah.
Right, you got 4 correct.
Yeah.
It's 8. It was 4, right?
Actually, you got 8, but I'm giving you 4.
You 4. Right? I'm wrecking his head. Right? And he's coming up, and at one stage he did this. Now, there was a big guy standing here I was talking to. I haven't seen anyone do this in school, where he went up and he leaned into me as if he was going to start a fight.
Oh,
right?
Yeah.
I was like, what the fuck is that, right?
Come on, boy.
It's 8. I goes, it's a quiz. It's even a real quiz. Right? So at the end of the quiz, he comes up, and they came last, right? And he comes up and he slams this piece of paper down on the table. And I look at it, and it's a leprechaun hanging by its neck, right? Didn't even draw the shadow underneath,
with
right?
the pot of gold.
The pot of gold, the fucking level of detail. And he didn't even sit down, so he's fucking tense, drawing that on the top of a chair.
Murder.
Ages, right? And he slams
Blue
it down.
murder.
And I said, what's this? And he goes, that's you and your Ireland team, right? he like, we're hanging dead, right?
Yeah.
I was like, you fucking racist, right?
Psycho.
And then he said, oh, I can't be racist because I'm brown. He said something like that. I goes,
yeah.
that's not got to do with it.
Yeah.
That's racist, you prick.
And
then I screamed, go fuck yourself. And then that's when everyone looked around in the bar looking at me.
Clapped him out.
Because I was furious, right? But I didn't know how to handle it. And it's only the next day when I was on the Rock and I was talking to them and I said, oh, look at this picture that someone drew last night. And they were like, that's a hate
They
crime.
were skitting, weren't they?
No, they were like, you can't do that.
Yeah.
You can't draw that. That's fucking mad. So they're all the reasons I
That's
didn't
what
want to be in
I was
the
like,
pub.
why did he draw the pot of gold when apparently we bribed the ref the week before?
Was that another excuse coming out?
Ah, come here. Do you know?
Well,
We were talking about it last week, you know? Where
Yeah,
it's like,
yeah.
they were complaining about the ref. I was like, yeah, shocking. Absolutely terrible. The worst ref I've ever seen.
Yeah.
We should have had a penalty try.
Yeah.
And you should have had 13 players.
Yeah.
Do you know?
He should have,
Yeah.
they should have relaxed a bit more.
Yeah.
No, it was gas. So I watched it in the log cabin, and I was nude by the end of it. Like, the fire was the hottest fire in the world. So it was there, you know what I mean? The fire was as hot as the weather in the UK at the minute.
And Ireland, boy.
It's
Do you see that the hottest recorded temperature before yesterday in Ireland was 33.3.
33 and a third.
33 and a third, by.
Of course it is.
They love that over here.
They fucking love it. They got, when I was
and
that
I
age,
didn't know that.
I didn't. I never fucking. Why would you know it?
Come here. But like, it had to be, didn't it?
It had to be.
It had to be 33 and a third.
I didn't know how old I was for a while, because when I turned 33, I couldn't say my age to anyone in this country.
Yeah.
Because they say, how old are you? Oh, I don't know, 32, 24.
Yeah, thereabouts.
Yeah, because you get into it. I don't
Give
want
or
to give
take.
in. I don't want to say the H
No.
because it's the Queen's H.
Yeah.
So it's not ours. So
Yeah,
I'll say
yeah.
there, this, that,
That's
then.
it, like, that's
40.
but our tree came from the Irish language, which
Yeah.
is tree, do you
Yeah.
know?
Yeah.
T-R-I. Do
Yeah,
you know what I mean?
and it's
That's
beautiful,
how-
and that's the way it should be.
Yeah.
So I'll say 33 and a third now.
33 and a third.
I'll own it.
Yeah.
I will, and that was the hottest it's been.
Yeah.
Not as hot as my fire in Raglan, I'll tell you that. It's a hot fire. My ma seen a picture and she thought I tried to use the bin as a barbecue. She goes, your sister showed me this picture of you using the bin as a barbecue. I'm like, why would I use a fucking bin as a barbecue?
Not that daft.
But that's how I was when I lived there years ago.
Yeah.
So that's
Yeah.
she just remembers me as
Yeah,
someone that would use a bin as a barbecue.
Yeah. And you weren't far off.
I wasn't fired off.
Do you know, over the weekend, I met this fucking really nice Welsh dude, man. Fucking cool.
I didn't know they were real people.
I know. Listen to this, right?
I'm listening.
This gets weirder and weirder. He comes in on the Thursday and he's like, alright, mate, I'm just after landing from Cardiff. Fucking sound fella in his 40s. Lovely man, do you know? And then we're there chatting away, having a few pints or whatever. And then one of the owners of the pub comes in.
Yeah.
And he hasn't been in since Paddy's Day, right?
That's some hangover.
Yeah, I'm telling you, still recovering, do you know? So he came in, and then I'm there chatting away with your man, and then I go over to the owner and throw him up with his drinks and his food or whatever. But like, order his food, it's just straight away like, oh, can I get a steak? Here you go! No, it was nothing like that. But then, yeah, your man goes out for a smoke anyway, and then the owner turns around to me, he's like, I know him. I was like, what? He's like, where's he from? I was like, he just landed, like, today. And he's like, I know him. And I was like, bollocks. He's like, where's he from? I was like, he said he's from Cardiff. He goes, I'm from fucking Cardiff. Goes out to your man. Your man used to drink in his pub in Cardiff.
No.
And the first fucking pub he lands into is the pub.
It's his pub.
Yeah.
Man.
But then, so your
Home
man,
and pigeons.
yeah, literally. So he's there all weekend anyway. And then by the end of the weekend, man, I have profile pic. So I changed his screensaver and his wallpaper to me behind the bar with the bottle of Jaeger.
Yeah.
So every time he opens his phone, it's like the first day he's in New Zealand. It's just me with a bottle of Jaeger behind the bar going, ah.
And that's his weekend.
Yeah, and he has it's still his wallpaper now. He sent me a fucking screenshot of it, and it's
That's
like, yeah,
fucking mad.
yeah.
Isn't it mad how you find your way? Like, I was in Adelaide doing the festival, the Fringe Festival, and I was walking around and I went, I'm going to go in here and have a drink, right?
Yeah.
And I walked into this bar. It's just fucking, I think it was a Spanish tapas bar
Adelaide,
or whatever,
that
right?
place, yeah.
And I'm sitting down and I'm just having a drink. And then someone that runs shows there every year, he's Scottish, and he comes up and he goes, trust you Irish to find what used to be the biggest Irish bar. And I went, I don't know why I'm here. He goes,
I can smell the sawdust.
Something, yeah, there's something. I can smell the old peanuts. And then that was it. That's where I was sitting having a few drinks, and I went, "This, of course, it was an Irish bar.
Yeah, it looks-
It's something in us that you end up finding the same shit.
home and pigeons,
Yeah,
man. Do you know?
home and pigeons.
But it was like, right, so, what was it? It was, not the January just gone, the January before, so January last year. We went down to, where were we? We were in Hamilton for my brother's stag do.
Yeah,
But before that, I was on holiday, so I took like 2 weeks off. So I went down to Mount Maunganui and then Rotorua. I know I'm butchering the names now. But
you have an accent.
yeah,
Is that
Rotorua, yeah.
If you try to say it the correct way, it'll sound racist. It'll sound like you're trying to be.
Rotorua.
Yeah, it sounds beautiful actually.
Thank you very much. Yeah. But yeah, so we were in Mount Maunganui, we had a couple nights there, then we went to Rotorua, and then we were in Taupo, and we met up with my buddy Peter in Taupo, who I met up in Auckland, and he's a farmer, and he was doing farming down there. And we went to this pub, And we're there, but it was the Irish pub next to the strippers. Finn's, McFinn's.
Finn
Finn
McCool's.
That's the one, yeah. And then, go in there, and the bouncer's checking IDs, and he checks my ID. He says, "Where are you from?" I said, "Ireland." I can see that. I have your passport in there. Do you know what I mean? And he's like, "What part?" I was like, "West Cork." He's like, "Fuck off." And I was like, "Yeah." And then I was like, "What part of West Cork?" I was like, "Skibbereen." He goes, "Fuck off." He goes, "I used to live in Clonakilty and my girlfriend used to work in Baltimore." And then I was like, "Fuck off." I was like, "I'm actually from Baltimore. I just say Skibbereen so more people know it."
Yeah,
do you know that kind of? And he was like, "Yeah, man, she used to work in Jacobs." And I was like, "Fuck off. That's where I used to work." And he was like, "Yeah, it was the summer of fucking 2014. And I was like, "Fuck off." I was like, "Who is she?" And he was like, "Geraldine Sheehan." I was like, "Fuck off, you're Geraldine's fella." I was like, "You've probably had a few pints with you in Baltimore."
Yeah.
It's a bouncer to fucking Finn McCool's in Taupo.
Where's he from?
He's a Kiwi lad.
Oh, yeah.
He's from fucking Hamilton. And he's bouncing in Taupo. And then he's chatting away and I'm like, "What's your name, mate?" He goes, "Adam." And I was like, "No, fuck off." I was like, "This is a wind-up, mate. This is a fucking wind-up." And he was like, he was like, "What's your name?" I was like, "Adam." He was like, I was mental, man. It was just like, it was just everything. Oh, here. This exact time. You're exact. And then when he said his name was Adam, I was like, "No, I'm being punked or something. I'm not even famous. I'm getting punked, man."
It's that sort of, when people go, "It's a small world." That makes sense. Like I was doing a gig in Lincoln outside of Christchurch, and then someone drove us to a house party. This is where my story of Nangs came from.
Oh, yeah.
And we're in the middle, and it's a Kiwi house party, so it's not in the house, it's in the garage. You know, you're off to the side, and they're sitting on these haunted sofas that the grannies died on, holes in them and stuff.
Yeah.
And they brought us in, and I went, "All right, what's the story?" And then I heard an accent similar to mine. "For fuck's sake, where are you from?" And she was from Ballyfermot. Up the road, where I went to school. And then even at a gig, so in Temuka, I walked out on stage, and there was a girl from Finglas right in the front row. I'm like, of all the places, that's a small world. But I'll tell you this, once we were in, I think it was Paihia, and we were in this wanky fucking restaurant. You know, we just fucking went in, and then there's all these rich people around us there sitting, you know. All boaties, right? All with their boats.
Yachties,
right? Not boaties. And they're sitting there, and you can overhear the conversation, and they're like, where do you live?" "Oh, we live in Heron Bay." "Oh, where do you live?" "Oh, we live in Grey Lane. We have a villa in Grey Lane."
Yeah.
And they're like, "Oh, and you're up here?" And they're like, yeah, we came up on our boat. "Oh, we came up on our boat as well." And then he said, "Small world, isn't it?" It's like, that's not the same. You're just the same people, and you're living in the same country.
For the 1%.
For the 1%, and you took your boat up the country. Small world that we both did the same thing.
We both fucking got our boat.
We got a boat, man. On the boat.
And we both came up to Paihia, you know, having time of our life, bro. I actually, do you know what? I was thinking today, and it's a funny one. So, do you know the way we were on about nicknames last week?
Yeah.
I was thinking about a real name today, right? So, you know, like the name, like, we'll say Philippa is like the female version of Philip.
Yeah.
And then you've got like Michaela is the female version of Michael.
Yeah.
And Alana is the female version of Alan.
Yeah.
But then I was thinking...
Adama.
That's a fella's name. No, that's a fella's name.
Oh,
actually.
sorry.
Yeah. But then I was thinking of the name Samantha. And I was like, I've never met someone called Samanth.
No. I've met Samuel, but not Samantha.
Samanth.
No.
So why isn't it Samuela? Is that her name? Samuela?
I've met Pauls and Paul.
Yeah, do you know? But like
mind blown.
Samantha, but you've never met a Samanth.
Have you looked it up in a phone book?
I prefer not to. I'm going to leave this one to the... Do you know... Remember back in the day before phones and shit, where you could get away with your bullshit?
Yeah.
That's what I'm leaving this.
Do you know
I'm
what?
Leaving this
talking about that level of bullshit, I like the hottest fires, right? They're
Bins
so hot.
Ever seen.
They melt everything.
Diamond bins.